Hello everyone and welcome to iReadit, bringing you your daily dose of the internet for Wednesday, September 20th, 2017. I am Michael Schwan.
And I'm Nathan Wood.
Please remember, everyone, you can help support our show by going to patreon.com/dailyinternet. In addition, we do go live Monday through Thursday at 6 p.m. Alaska time on Facebook. Nathan, how are you doing today?
Not bad. It was better than an average day, but really not by much. Average day is kind of shitty, so.
Sure. My day, the first half was kind of garbage because I had nothing to do, and the second half I had more to do, but it wasn't like super awesome. So either way, my day wasn't bad though. It was just like wasn't terribly exciting or enthusiastic or even very productive, really.
Yeah, no, I feel the same. We didn't have very many people come in, so I guess it was productive because I sat there and just did cases pretty much all day.
Sure. But at the same time, that gets boring and monotonous.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I understand. So, anyway, yeah. You got anything else, or you just want to jump straight into things?
No, let's just jump straight into things.
Awesome.
I'm kind of hungry, so let's get this done so I can eat.
Sounds like a plan. I share that sentiment.
5.
Nope, we're not trying to go that fast.
10.
There we go. AFL changes logo to yes in support of marriage equality.
This was submitted by... Fuck, it didn't open immediately. This was submitted by Zany Delaney to Australia.
Cool. All right, so what this is that the AFL, otherwise known as the Australian Football League, because
Oh, see, I thought this was the Arena Football League here in America.
Nope, Australia.
Okay.
And if you've not seen Australian football, it's really interesting. It's like a weird mixture of like traditional and American football with like some rugby thrown in. It's very odd. But
That's fucking awesome, though. I like that. I like rugby.
But anyway, they have taken and they didn't like build new things. They just, in the same style that their normal logo is, they just put essentially this little piece over top of it that it just spells out yes in support of the upcoming vote to have full marriage equality for anyone and everyone.
Hell yeah. I like how the Football League is doing this, because I feel that sports is notorious. Like sports, at least in America, sports and the military are notorious for shitting on people of just people who don't subscribe to the whole heterosexual normity.
Mm-hmm. Well, and one of the members of the leading members of the actual league itself said, you know, that the homophobia has no place in football, and he would continue to speak out on it whenever he can. Also, while this vote is going forward, every single Australian football that is being sent out across the country for, you know, the different games to be played will have the big yes stamp on it, so you'll even see it like in the players' hands when they're running and stuff. Mm-hmm. So that's pretty cool.
That's fucking awesome.
This is a good way to go about it.
And I kind of like the way that Australia is doing things. It's really unfortunate that all of their wildlife is trying to kill you.
Literally all of it. Isn't it something ridiculous, like 87% of it or something?
Something like that.
Like including the bugs.
Yeah, mostly the bugs.
Like the bugs, the wildlife, just
the fucking the spiders, the snakes, the kangaroos even.
Mm-hmm.
The koalas, the drop bears try to maul you to death.
Yep. You think they're all cute and fuzzy until they just maul your face off.
Mm-hmm.
9.
That's why I was gonna say that's why hippos are also terrifying.
Hippos are awesome though, but yes, they're terrifying.
Awesome, truly in the sense of the word.
Yeah,
they bring awe.
They are incredible. Anyway, Russia is reportedly going around sanctions and supplying North Korea with fuel.
This was submitted by Imnaha 2 to Our World News.
Now, this isn't necessarily anything new. North Korea has been finding ways to get around the sanctions that have been imposed on them for quite some time now. In this case, the most traditional way that they've been able to get around it is that they send ships to a port. Those ships are then loaded up with some sort of good. They say, we are going to head to this location, and then instead of heading to that location, they just head back to North Korea.
Oh, wow. They're not even really being that sneaky.
No. But I mean, it does. There's nothing that can prevent the boat from leaving. Not technically, especially when it's like, yeah, our destination is, you know, Guam, and then it's like, no, we're not going to Guam. We're just going straight to North Korea. Have a good day. The other problem is that there's no way to tell once they've gotten to North Korea if those goods are being offloaded or not. So,
I mean, at least we know that they're making a stop in North Korea.
so who knows? I mean, I'm always I am always conflicted on these sanctions because like I understand the purpose to them of putting pressure on the country. The only issue that I have with things like the sanctions, and I understand their purpose is, to drive them to make better decisions. But at the same time, these heavy sanctions that are placed on countries, whether it's North Korea or Russia or China, whoever else, in the past have had sanctions put on them, is there's a large number of innocent people that will then suffer because of their government's decisions that cause those sanctions to be put on them. And that sucks.
Yeah, no. I'm trying to find words.
No, I understand. I spend a lot of my day trying to find words.
I feel like this is shitty, but at the same time, like, theoretically that fuel would be used for the people, even though we know that it's not.
Right, and that's the theory, though. But at the same time, it's like,
They're a lot of people probably thinking they're throwing that fuel right into military shit.
Probably, and it's hard to say really because we don't know a whole lot of involving the activity that happens in North Korea. But it does, I don't know, in some ways it makes me sad or pains me to know that because of their government's bad decisions that their people are suffering. And while you would like to believe that it's like, oh, my people are suffering, I need to figure out a way to help them, I don't believe that that's how their mindset is.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
It's like, oh, my people are suffering. Well, they're my people, so they can just, hold out a bit longer until we can, I don't know, do something stupid.
Yeah, I don't like that line of thought. I feel like the best line of thought is, my people are suffering. Let's fix that.
Yeah. But I don't think that's how they see it.
Yeah, apparently not a lot of people in politics do, and that's fucked up.
Yeah, it is. It's really, oh my God, don't do that. Yeah, it's really messed up because...
Because you're a civil servant and you're not doing any of those things?
Well, and I understand that sometimes there are things that public servants or even like high-up officials will do that the public might not understand because of unknown factors to them. But for the most part, the majority of decisions I feel like should be for the betterment of your country.
Yeah, I can understand.
So...
But, I mean, if you are being put... Okay, so I feel like if you're in the federal position and you're supposed to be watching over all of these things, then yes, let's do it for the betterment of your country, right? But a lot of people want to... And I feel that way, too. Because I'm more for a group mentality than an individual mentality. I don't care about my individualism. What I care about is the benefit of everyone.
Sure.
I have more of an ant mentality than a human mentality, oddly enough. And I feel like these civil servants should also have those kinds of mentalities.
You would hope, anyway.
Yeah, but apparently not.
8.
Disney's Artemis Fowl receives August 9, 2019 release date.
This was motherfucking submitted by, who is it? Bunyip Pouch to Arm Movies.
So... if you have not read the Artemis Fowl books by Owen Colfer,
Is that how you pronounce his name?
Owen? Yes.
I always pronounce it Eoin.
Yeah, that's how most people always pronounce it, and that's how I pronounced it for the longest time. But if you go to his website, in the banner at the top in bold letters, he has it. He says has it spelled out. It's pronounced Owen.
Dude, I bet he got it, or I bet they used a Welsh spelling.
I have no idea.
Dude, Welsh is fucking crazy when it comes to spelling things. If you see two D's next to each other, it's a sound.
That's weird.
Yeah.
So, my first question is something that I probably should have looked up before. So if you haven't read the books by Owen Colfer called Artemis Fowl, they are really, really good books. And
they're really, yeah, I agree. They're really good books, but mind you, they are for adolescents.
Yeah, and I was about to give that disclaimer as well. They are young adult novels, so you're going to be. These are books targeting like 10 to 15. Probably about where you're looking at.
Yeah, around.
A
I would
very
say 10 to 15.
a very, very basic synopsis of the story is the main character's name is Artemis Fowl, and he is he's like what, like 12 or like
Something like that.
yeah, he's a super super intelligent 12-year-old that lives that is the son of a incredibly rich family, but
He's basically Batman.
he's basically Batman, except his parents aren't dead. They're just always gone because they're, super active, rich business people. His mom is dead. His dad is alive. Or is it the other way around? No,
I
it's,
don't remember.
either-
It's been years since I've read any of the books, and I hadn't even finished the entire series. I got like 3 or 4 books in.
Either way, he discovers that there is a hidden world of magic and magical beings, so think like fairies, dwarves, dragons, etc., that are all hidden by one means or another, and he's so intelligent that he figures out how to, like, find their world and all this kind of different stuff, and he's overall a pretty good guy, but he does a lot of really illegal stuff to do the good stuff.
It's like chaotic good.
Yeah, super chaotic good. Anyway.
I feel, hold on, really quick. I feel like the most prominent thing that I remember from that book is that his butler always wields a sig sauer.
Mm-hmm. So,
But anyways, as you're saying.
here is the concern, though, here, and I need to, oh, okay. So, the film itself, which we have confirmation of a couple people, Kenneth Branagh I don't know, is directing it. This is the same dude that directed Thor, Cinderella, and the upcoming Murder on the Orient Express. So
Oh my god, that looks so good.
I want to see it so bad. Anyway, so he's got some talent under his belt. We don't know many of the cast yet, but we do know that Judi Dench is going to be starring in it. Don't know in what capacity, but named Judi Dench is going to be in it.
Damn.
Here are 2 things that really concerned me about this film, to the point that I'm like, oh no, it's going to be terrible. It's going to be garbage. This movie has been in the works since 2001.
That's 17 or 16 years, all right? That's 16 years to perfect this. It's just like Duke Nukem Forever.
No, no, Nathan. No, that's extremely incorrect.
All right, so that was a bad example. Duke Nukem Forever
One
was
of the
great.
worst? Yeah, no. And that's why it does concern me, is because normally projects that are in the works or in development for a ridiculous amount of time normally end up resulting in being bad. And they just wanted to release something because they've spent so much money on it over the development hell. And so that's my first concern. Here's the other thing, and it makes me so upset because it just immediately calls to a reminder of another movie. This first movie is going to be based on the first 2 books in the franchise.
So the one movie is the 2 books.
Yes, it's going to be based on Artemis Fowl and Artemis Fowl, the Arctic Incident. Now,
I mean, sure, they were adolescent books and they were, kind of small, but I don't think they were that small.
no, they weren't that small. And when I read that, I went, no! Because one of my favorite book series of all time, one of my favorite authors of all time, is somebody who writes young adult novels. His name is Darren Shan, and he wrote 2 very, very prominent series. One is called Demonata, which I either just finished or is about to be finished, but his series before that was called Cirque de Freak.
Oh, I remember that.
And
For the movie.
they released a movie called Cirque de Freak, the Vampire's Assistant, back in 2009. And it was based on the first 3 books in the trilogy, and it was fucking god awful.
All right, what's your least favorite book to movie adaptation?
Aragon.
That's a lot of people say that. I haven't actually watched Aragon, so I'm not sure.
Or maybe The Vampire's Assistant. They're both bad.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they're both hot garbage. The only thing that I'm holding on to here is The Vampire's Assistant was made by Universal Pictures. Meh, Universal. They have a lot of hit or miss. Unfortunately, this one was a real hard miss. Artemis Fowl is being made by Disney. So, I have hope that Disney won't fuck up, because normally Disney doesn't.
Yeah, that gives me a lot of hope.
Yeah, that's the only thing that I'm like, oh my god, at least it's Disney. But at the same time, my brain's like, you're going to cram 2 entire books into one movie? You're the worst.
Guys, don't do it.
Please don't. Either way, I'm looking forward to that. I'll go see it. I
mean, I'm going to go see it because I read those 2 books, and I think I read the one after.
I don't know.
But
I think I read everything but the last one. I don't know. I'll probably end up rereading them anyway because
What how many books are there?
like 8. Yeah, there's 8.
Holy shit!
Mhm.
That guy was prolific while I stopped.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember the Eternity Code. Yeah, I don't remember the Opal Deception.
That's cool.
Oh, they were
7.
made into graphic novels.
Possibly Elon Musk's biggest idea yet, revolutionizing education.
Fucking yes! This is submitted by Mavi at our Futurology.
Not quite in the way that you are hoping for, Nathan.
Fucking damn it!
So what Elon Musk has done is he has provided $15 million to the Global Learning XPrize. What the Global Learning XPrize program is that it has a goal to develop methods to teach the 250 million children in the world who do not have access to primary or secondary education. So instead of revolutionizing the education system like here in the United States or in Western Europe or anywhere else in the world, this is to provide education to those who do not have access to it. Specifically, trying to provide them education with the means to teach themselves how to read, write, and do math in a 15-month period. So that they can, because those things will get you pretty darn far, right? You don't necessarily need to learn about the parts of a cell or anything like that, or, you know.
Whoa, the mitochondria is the powerhouse of the cell.
It's true. But those aren't imperative to getting by in life. So
Yeah, you just need some basics.
yeah, you need being able to read is good, being able to write is good, and basic math is something that even people who went to 12 years of school sometimes are terrible at. So the goal is to provide a quick, easy learning experience for all of those that don't have it. At this point in time, the XPrize program has reached its 5 finalists. Each of them were awarded $1 million for getting to the finals, and then whoever wins will be awarded another $10 million. And what this contest is these different companies are developing and going now to be testing their system to find out which one is the most effective. We have CCI with New York, from New York in the U.S., Chimple from Bangalore in India, Kit School from Berkeley in the United States, 1 Billion that is a combination from the United Kingdom, Malawi, and Tanzania, and RoboTutor out of Pittsburgh in the United States. Whichever one of those wins will be given $10 million to completely, fully bump up and launch their project, but there is also the requirement that you have to maintain your program and keep its entire code open source so that it can easily be improved upon, adapted, and released in other forms so that it's available to everyone as easily as possible.
Right. So you can't just be a dick and choose who you give education to.
Right.
Yeah. I really hate people who decide that education is not important. And this is fucking great. This is giving education to the needy. It's not the kind of education revolutionization that I hope for, but that will come in due time.
It will. Elon Musk is kind of going nuts, man. I mean, he's the face of corporations like Tesla and SpaceX. He's the co-chairman of the AI research company OpenAI. He's the CEO of a neurotechnology company called Neuralink. And there's several other companies he's involved with. This dude's incredible. I don't know when he sleeps.
I don't think he does. I'm pretty sure he's immortal.
I'm pretty sure he's our living Tony Stark.
Dude, that's what we need. We need an internet database that tells you which person in the world is an immortal.
So who do we know already? We'll throw
Keanu Reeves,
Nicolas Cage, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Those are the only 2 that I can think of.
Those are the 2 most popular ones. I am certain there are more.
Yep. We'll see, though.
Oh, wait. This might just be a conspiracy theory. It might just be a loser.
Well, I mean, sorry, buddy.
Okay, so I should take out might. I'm just a loser.
So Nathan, if you want to try and fulfill that ever lifelong goal of yours, here's your opportunity.
6.
Death Wish Coffee recalls cold brew cans due to potentially deadly toxins.
This was submitted by Samuel L. Windu to R Not the Onion. Death Wish Coffee. Let's see, eBay.
Unfortunately, it's already been recalled, but there might be some still out there. And this was only specifically in their nitro cold brew canned coffees, due to a
How do
slight
you spell that? Nitro cold brew. Okay, let's see if I can find any. Keep going.
due to a slight risk of a toxin that can cause botulism.
Oh, I don't want to die from botulism. That sounds awful.
Well, I mean, it'd be a way for you to die by death by coffee.
I mean, that's not bad. It's not bad.
Death Wish Coffee is also if you're wondering what they normally are, one, they had a huge amount of success when they won a free $5 million 30-second commercial during the 2016 Super Bowl. Death Wish Coffee is a brand that offers coffee that claims to have twice the level of caffeine that regular coffee does. So
That's insane.
But maybe avoid the nitro cold brew for a while. Just saying.
Don't do it. Keep drinking it. All of you.
Drink it, down it. There have been no reported cases, but there is a toxin in there that has the potential to cause botulism, but it's not actually occurred anywhere yet. But they're not going to take the chance that are just pulling it.
I mean, that's admirable, but, let me do that.
5,
Kevin Durant responds to a YouTube comment asking why he cares what people thinks.
This was submitted by JJab430 to our NBA.
So this is neat because, one, it's nice to see that rich people respond to things on a down to earth level, and this is his comment. So his initial comment was, "I appreciate the love on the new KDs. Fun fact: since I broke my foot, I wear orthotics instead of regular insoles, so I won't be stepping on my haters this year. Just a gift from us to you to let us know that your voices have been heard. Enjoy your day." Someone responded with, "Who cares what people think? Just do you. Someone of stature shouldn't worry about stuff like that." This is his response. "Of my stature, I play basketball. I got acne. I grew up with nothing. I'm still figuring myself out in my late 20s. I slide in DMs, I make fun of my friends, and I drink beer and play Xbox. I'm a lot closer to you than you think."
I slide in DMs. I like how he's throwing us all under the bus.
But I think it's an important thing for people to realize is that for the majority of celebrities, with a few exceptions, they're just people.
It amazes me, honestly, how similar I am to some people who seem just way crazy above me.
Yeah, the only difference is that their job brings them a shitload of money, and that's really it in a lot of cases. Now, there are some people that are, horribly rich, looking down on you, condescending douchebags, Mr. Osteen from Texas, talking about...
Not only that, but those dickheads who try to use the government money for the fucking plane trip for their honeymoon.
Yeah, well, I mean, those are just greedy people. I think everyone's greedy on some level, but... But yeah, it's just because they, made $15 million for playing basketball last year doesn't mean that they're not just a person. They're just a person with a lot of money. Now, some money does change people sometimes, but not all the times.
I mean, shit. Haven't you ever heard the adage? If you're going to do something, don't. Or if you enjoy doing something, don't do it for free.
Yeah, of course.
Fuck that up so much.
4,
Spanish police storm Catalan government buildings to stop independence referendum.
This was submitted by a Kirby1 to Our World News.
So us here in America with our freedom, this sounds illegal as hell, but anyway, Spanish National Police have stormed ministries and buildings belonging to the Catalonia's regional government to put a stop on the regional independence referendum. Apparently, Spain's constitutional court has declared it illegal for their regional governments to declare their own independence. This would be like the federal government saying that it's illegal for a state in the United States to secede from the United States. And so when they heard about this referendum that was possibly going to go forward, it was supposed to be put forth to a vote in that region on October 1st. They stormed the government buildings just recently, arresting 12 Catalan officials, and are currently searching for anything and everything they can regarding this, because you're apparently not allowed to declare independence from Spain.
I feel like most people should be able to declare independence from whatever country they want to declare independence from.
Yeah, right? I feel like you should.
But I mean, that's Spain there. I guess they're allowed to shut that shit down over there.
I guess. I mean, if you say it's not okay, I guess it's not okay. But I mean, like, and this is where the whole like American bias comes in. It's like, fuck freedom, fuck you, Spain.
Yeah, I feel like if you are unhappy with your government to the point where your entire community is unhappy, you should be able to make your own government.
If you can survive, I guess. I don't know. But that's also me wanting to be cautious about things. Because people that are like, let's have Alaska secede from the United States. I was like, we are broke. We have no money. How do you expect us to do it on our own as an independent entity?
Because the United States is broke and has no money. If they can do it, we can.
Yeah, but they have a lot of clout and a bunch of weapons.
They would not let us leave. We have oil. As soon as we leave, they'd be like, oh shit, there's a war going down. Muslims or something in Barrow.
Time to go conquer Alaska.
Yeah, exactly.
3,
Linda Hamilton set to return to Terminator franchise.
What?
Mm-hmm.
Yes! This is submitted by JSun31R Movies.
It's even better. So if you're one of the...
Hold up. Did you just say it's even better?
Yes. You want to know why?
Go on.
So if you were one of the many people that enjoyed Terminator 1 and Terminator 2 and then went after that to all of the other movies, the reason why is that the original creator of Terminator, James Cameron, as the director, directed Terminators 1 and 2. He did not direct any of the other ones. James Cameron, Linda Hamilton, and Arnold Schwarzenegger are all set to return to the next Terminator film. James Cameron directing, and then Linda Hamilton reprising her role as Sarah Connor, and then, of course, Arnold Schwarzenegger as the Terminator.
Well, shit, he did say he'll be back.
Yeah, right? And apparently she'll be back.
That's fucking amazing.
Yeah.
This entire thing has got me rigid.
Now, there is no news whatsoever about when this will come out, what it's going to be, in what form, how, just that James Cameron has the rights to do another Terminator movie. It'd be the first movie he's got to do since Terminator 2, and we'll have both Arnold and Linda Hamilton back.
I would just like to point out that the TV show I thought wasn't that bad.
I didn't watch it.
I don't know. It had Lena Headey in it, and the girl who played River Tam in Firefly. So I already. I mean, I guess I didn't know who Lena Headey was at the time, but I already was all for it.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, that's fucking dope. I am super excited for a new Terminator movie if it's being headed by James Cameron, in addition to having Linda Hamilton and Schwarzenegger.
And the reason that James Cameron fought, because he had to fight to get this back. He's going to be producing this movie alongside Skydance, and is going to be distributed by Paramount, with Fox handling it internationally. And the main reason he wanted to do it is because of the recent success of old man action films. So think of basically anything that Jackie Chan or Liam Neeson have put out in the last 5 years. And he's like, there's so much empowerment around the idea of an old guy kicking ass. I want to do that exact same thing with the original badass female from action films. And so Linda Hamilton's going to be Sarah Connor, being a, 60 or something like that now, beating the shit out of people.
The original badass woman, did Terminator come out before or after Alien?
I don't know.
Because, that's an important thing.
Alien movie.
I have Terminator pulled up. Terminator came out in 94 or 84.
Alien came out in 79.
So I would say that he's full of shit right here because, Alien.
Sure. I mean, Aliens came out in 86.
That's really nice, but Alien did not.
That's fair. Either way, I'm still excited.
2,
Erdogan. Trump apologized to me over brawl between Turkish bodyguards and protesters.
Sorry, I'm responding to Jin in the chat. This was submitted by ZMFP to Art Politics.
This is a little bit of a misleading headline because there's more here. Because this is apparently this is coming from Erdogan's mouth and not the president's. He said that Donald Trump said that he was sorry and that he was going to be following up on the issue regarding the bodyguards within the framework for an official visit from the United States. So it's not that he's apologizing for arresting them. He's like, I'm sorry, but we're going to have to keep moving forward with this. I know you didn't want us to. At least that's my understanding it.
I don't know.
Well, and regarding this case, a grand jury indicted 19 defendants last month in the brawl that took place outside of the Turkish embassy, and that included 15 Turkish security guards.
So, I mean, that's nice. That's really great, but I don't know who to believe in this situation. Both of them seem like steaming piles of poop to me.
I also don't know if it matters either. Like, I don't give a shit.
I would seriously be upset if Trump apologized to Erdogan for something that his people started.
Well, and here's the other thing on that as well. Apparently this was in a private phone call between the two of them, and I would feel if it was like a public apology during like a press conference, that's one thing, but if like I don't really care on his private phone call between one sleazy scumbag to another.
I can understand that. I still would be upset, but you know.
Sure. Either way, it's weird. It's also a weird-ass he said, she said shit. So
I feel like that's most of politics in America right now.
That, or just politics in general.
I mean, yeah.
1.
Leonardo DiCaprio Foundation unveils a $20 million in grants for climate change and wildlife conservation.
This was submitted by Love Bamboo to Our Uplifting News.
Leonardo DiCaprio going hard on his beliefs.
Fucking Leo!
So at a conference at Yale University on Tuesday, that was yesterday, he is going to be offering $20 million in new grants to more than 100 organizations supporting causes like wildlife and habitat conservation and climate change programs. He's like boom, boom, boom on this. He also, during this announcement, went forward and talked about how trying to get people to shift from fossil fuel reliance to renewable energy and why it's such a big deal.
I love this. And his foundation is paying for all of this.
Yeah.
Oh, God, I love celebrities with money that actually care.
Yep.
It's really unfortunate because at this point, I almost feel like the celebrities with the money care more about the CEO, or care more than the CEOs.
Yeah. Jen in the chat room says, I know climate change is bad and all, but don't you guys want some warmer winters up in Alaska? No, actually, we don't.
Well, actually, I don't know, man. Hold on.
Here's the reason why, okay? Because if it gets because it won't get a lot warmer for the winter. It'll get a little bit warmer. And the reason that that's a problem is because the way that weather works is that it can get to a point where it is too cold to snow. And that's nice because it means that it'll be like 5 degrees outside, but it won't
not
snowing. Ice. Whereas if it gets up and consistently stays at like 25 degrees all the time, those are the winters where we've had 15 feet of fucking snow. So the little bit warmer winters will mean that we're literally just crawling through snow all the damn time.
I think that would be cool.
No, Nathan, that's not cool. That's a problem.
Wait, hold on, guys. Hold on.
No, Nathan.
Then we can have so many snow days.
Who's having a snow day? We don't ever get them.
And then we can go sledding.
Nathan.
And then, oh my God.
Nathan.
Igloos?
Okay. I'm doing mine first because it's another news topic. The entire island of Puerto Rico is without power currently.
And this was submitted by Pips Don't Squeak to Our News.
So Hurricane Maria, which has finally passed by Puerto Rico, continuing forward north and de-escalating down into a Category 2 hurricane, really hit Puerto Rico pretty darn hard. It slowed down, and I don't mean the wind speed slowed down. I mean its progression over space slowed down right at Puerto Rico. So it just kind of hovered there and just slammed Puerto Rico for several days.
Wow, that's fucking rude.
Yeah, and
if they had personalities.
all over the entire island, there is severe flooding, substantial amounts of damage. 3.5 million people are currently displaced and without power. The current president of Puerto Rico has asked publicly for Donald Trump to declare and what is the actual word that I'm looking for here? It's a state of emergency as alongside like a natural disaster, because right now Puerto Rico doesn't have any money because they're Puerto Rico, unfortunately, and the United States doesn't have a lot of money. But if it is declared a state of emergency and a natural disaster, there are emergency outlets essentially to provide additional care, funding, and support for the entire what do you call Puerto Rico? Is it a province? I mean, it's a country, but what is it called in terms of with the United States?
The territory?
Yeah, that sounds about right. So either
like Guam. It's essentially like Guam.
Yeah. So yeah. It's real
Actually,
bad.
I wonder if is American Samoa like that?
I have no idea.
Because I know Hawaii used to be like that before they became a state. I mean, technically, we were like that before we became a state too.
Yeah. Fortunately, Tropical Storm Lee that was building up behind Maria has completely dissipated. That storm is gone, so they won't be getting hit by another one.
Oh, there you go. Jen says Commonwealth.
Is that it? Sure, maybe.
I don't know, but it sounds official.
So I mean, they caught a break on that regard, I guess, that they're not going to get hit again.
Mm-hmm.
But it's real bad right now.
If you have, I was gonna say, if you have friends in Puerto Rico, you should try and contact them, but that's kind of hard when they don't have power.
Yeah, it's real difficult, and there's nowhere with power. It's not like they can get somewhere to charge things up a little bit. So, Jennifer in the chat room says Puerto Rico's government even filed for bankruptcy earlier this year.
That's rough.
Mm-hmm.
And watch, there's going to be a lot of people who are going to be like, all right, let's help Puerto Rico, guys. And then there are going to be a lot of people who are like, oh, they're not Americans. We're not going to help them.
Well, the other...
But they kind of are.
No, they totally are. The other issue at hand, though, is that they're still not everywhere, but so many places need help right now. Like all the way across, the equator in several parts of Asia and parts of Europe, there's horrible flooding and damage all over the place there. Puerto Rico got slammed, 3.5 million people, displaced, no power. Mexico got hit with 2 earthquakes back to back. One that was an 8.1.
They're still finding dead people.
They're still, and they will be for quite some time, unfortunately. The death toll now is over 400, which is extremely unfortunate. They've had like 50 plus buildings that have had complete failure and collapsed, and several others that have had partial failures. So, I mean, Mexico, because the second earthquake was the first one was off of the mainland, so it just was a good shake, which did result in a substantial amount of damage. The other one was actually in the center of the country, so it was even though it was a smaller earthquake, it was so much closer to everything that it caused significantly more damage. We're still trying to recover from Hurricane Harvey. Hurricane Irma hit a large amount of the Caribbean and then slammed into Florida. Florida's still trying to recover from it. There is so much damage around the world that all happened at the same time that recovering from it on a global scale is going to be ridiculously difficult.
It's the equator is trying to kill you.
I don't know. It's just real bad, real rough.
And it's going to take probably decades.
Probably. It'll also depend on the level of actual support that is given to these places, because I know that there was a ton of call for support and a ton of money that apparently went to Haiti, but Haiti still hasn't really been recovered at all. I remember we've talked a couple times about the horrible fiasco regarding the Red Cross and how they were given something like $6 billion to build homes, and they built 6 homes. Yeah. So
that's $1 billion per home, and I'm pretty sure those homes aren't worth $1 billion.
I don't believe you for a second, essentially. So, anyway, be aware. Check on people if you know anyone, and
if you can,
and look for outlets to. Thoughts and prayers are great and all, but in reality, they don't do anything. If you truly want to support, look for outlets that are going to be sending aid to those areas.
And I'm sorry if you believe that they do stuff, but you're not helping.
I'm Mr. Meeseeks! Look at me!
Nathan, what did you care about in the last 24 hours?
There's 2 things.
Okay.
One is the new Punisher trailer dropped today.
Saw it. Looked amazing.
I loved the use of the Metallica. it made me more rigid than the Terminator news, which is kind of weird.
Interesting.
But the other thing is, I saw an old high school friend of mine in Cars last night, which is our Safeway, our grocery store. And I added him on Facebook, and it popped up on my messenger that we're now friends. And I clicked open the messenger because we had been friends before, but I had moments where I freak out and I delete everyone. And unfortunately, he was one of them. It's really unfortunate because he's a good friend of mine. But the last messages that were transcribed between both of us was him asking if I still do a certain zombie blog that I've mentioned once or twice here. But the important thing is now I have the link to the zombie blog, so I'm gonna drop it in the show notes when I open it up in a second here, and on top.